Hi sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you three recipes, counting a dessert, that you can use for 4th of July. Whether you need something quick, something easy to take, I've got you covered. Both of the recipes that I'm going to share with you, really you could use them anytime, not just for the 4th of July. But like I said, they're really quick, they're really easy, very minimal cleanup. They're also really good heated up as leftovers. We ate on both of these recipes until it was gone. So if you're ready for it, grab your favorite drink and let's get started. First up, we're going to make a taco dip. Here are the ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need 1 pound of ground beef. You're going to need 1 block of cream cheese, preferably softened. 1 can of refried beans, whatever brand you like best. You're going to need some salsa. You're going to need 1 pack of taco seasoning. We really like the cheesy taco seasoning. And then you're going to need some shredded cheese. We found the taco blend shredded cheese. It's got taco seasoning in it. These are all the ingredients that you're going to need just for the recipe. I'm going to get started here by preheating my oven to 350. And while my oven is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the ground beef. I like to take this little meat chopper, that's what I call it. I don't know the technical name for it, but I love it because it shreds your ground beef and chicken, whatever you're cooking up. It just shreds it so easy, chops it into small pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread my cream cheese in the bottom of my pan, and let me tell you, that was hard to do with one hand. Then I'm going to go in with the refried beans. And again, this was difficult doing it with one hand, but I got it done. And then here's the ground beef. Here's a little tip that I'm going to share with you. Anytime you've got like grease that you need to drain, just push all the meat to one side and then tilt your skillet and let the grease drain like to one side. And then I always will take paper towels and then take like a fork or something and just dab that in there just to get all that grease out, and that saves you some time from having to like actually drain it. Now I'm going to go in with my taco seasoning. And here I did add just a little bit of water to it, just so that the meat could simmer with the seasoning and get all of that flavor. I'm not sure how much water, I don't know, a few tablespoons maybe. After the meat sauteed in the seasoning for a few minutes, I poured it into the dish over top of the beans and then just spread it out here. After that, I'm going to go ahead and pour some salsa. I think the recipe called for a 1/2 cup, but you can use ever how much you want. And then last, I'm going to go ahead and top this with some cheese. I think the recipe called for like a 1/2 cup, but honestly, I don't think you can ever have too much cheese. I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the oven. I'm going to go ahead and bake this for about 15 minutes until that cheese is nice and bubbly and everything's heated inside. And then after 15 minutes, I went ahead and got it out of the oven. And as you can see, everything is nicely melted down and a little bit bubbly there. Here you can kind of see all of the different layers. This recipe was really good, and it heated up really well for leftovers. I topped it with some sour cream. I put a little bit more salsa on top, and then I took this cheese dip and just spread some of that on top. And then here is the finished dish. And we ate off of this. We ate leftovers off of this for a few days. As you can see here, I ended up topping this with some chopped up green onion, and we just took some chips and ate it like that. And this will definitely be a recipe that I'm going to end up putting into my rotations. Next up, we have crock pot pizza casserole. Here are the items you will need for this recipe. You will need 1 pound of sweet Italian ground sausage, some cooking spray for the crock pot, 1 can of biscuits, whatever brand you want to use. You're going to need marinara sauce, again, whatever brand you like best, some pepperonis, and last you're going to need some mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. I'm going to start off here by giving my crock pot a good spray. And then I'm going to take those biscuits. And here's something that I learned. This was my first time making this recipe. I bought the Grand's biscuits, but I felt like the pizza was a little bit too much bread with those biscuits. So when I do this recipe again, I'm going to buy just some regular smaller biscuits to use. But if you like a lot of bread, these are the biscuits for you. I'm just taking now those cut up pieces of biscuit and layering them inside the crock pot. And what I end up doing is I kind of just push them all together so it makes like one big layer of biscuit crust in the bottom of the crock pot. Once your sweet Italian sausage has finished cooking, you are just going to bring that over to your crock pot and you're going to layer some of that on top of your biscuits. This will be your first layer. I ended up making 2 layers of all of these ingredients. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese. I honestly could have used more cheese. This bag is like 2 cups, and I felt like it needed more cheese by the end of the recipe, but it still worked out. It was still really good. And then I'm going to go in with, this is actually pizza sauce. You could use marinara sauce, whatever you like best. I had this on hand, and it was a squeeze one, so that's what I used. And I probably could have used a little more. This bottle had been used some out of already. And then I'm going to top it with some pepperoni. And I go pretty heavy on the pepperoni on this bottom layer. And then you'll see when I do the top layer, I don't put so many. But it's whatever you like. If you like a lot of pepperoni, well then put as many pepperoni as your heart desires. Here I'm just going in with that second layer. So first the Italian sweet sausage, followed by some more mozzarella cheese, more pizza sauce, and another layer of pepperonis. And then I put the remaining cheese that I had left on top. Here's what it looks like. And then I'm going to turn the crock pot on, and I cook this on low for 3 hours. And then after 3 hours, here is what it looks like. Last up, we're going to finish here with a dessert. This is called my Blueberry Bliss Tart. I kind of named it that. So this dessert recipe is super easy, and you can probably tell just by looking how this is going to come together. But you can do this with any kind of fruit, whatever is your favorite. So you're going to start just by getting these dessert shells. And today we're going to do blueberries. So I've got blueberry glaze, whatever whipped topping you like best. We like the extra creamy here. And then I've got some blueberries here that's already been washed and dried. We are going to begin by getting out one of those dessert shells, just laying it to the side. And then I'm going to take that blueberry glaze and just cut open a small corner of the package, just enough to be able to squeeze some into the shell. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some blueberries, ever how many you like, just on top of the glaze. Now I'm going to go in with the whipped topping. Just spray ever how much you like on top. Make it as pretty as you want. And now I'm going to add a couple more blueberries to the top of that. Then here, to make it even more festive for red, white, and blue, I'm just going to add a couple of strawberries to the side, just to kind of show you what it would look like if you wanted to add a little bit more fruit around these. And then here I realized it kind of looked like a little monster, so I went ahead and gave it a nose. And that's the finished product. I hope that you've enjoyed these recipes and they're helpful for you. It's just something easy for the 4th of July. I ask that if you have enjoyed the video that you please like and consider subscribing. Remember, it's free. The biggest way you can help my channel is just please share my videos with your friends. Thank you for watching, and God bless.